Hello Yugioh, it's Emma Blue Eyes 10 here with my own thoughts on the TCG ban list, which is due to come into effect on the 1st of January 2014. I've already given some thoughts in a video I did with Dark Partition 84. I will link that down below for you guys to have a look if you want to have a look, because it's a group discussion with a lot of other guys that we all did. Which was a lot of fun, but I've decided to give my own personal thoughts and opinions about this now in a separate video, and this will probably be one of the last thoughts video for this year, and I think the very last video I will do for the channel for 2013 will be a vlog video, or a vlog video, which will hopefully be right after this. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and here we go. Okay, Forbidden List. Newly Forbidden, Dragon Ravine, Return from the Different Dimension, Self-Destruct Button, 6 cents. Dragon Ravine I think was a little bit harsh, because the thing was, Dragon Rulers and a lot of Dragon decks in general were using it as a alternative means to, of course, Future Fusion, which is still forbidden due to the impact that card had with the Chaos Dragons and everything. And it was also the main card used for Dragoonities to allow them to become very good. Not like top tier 2 or 1 or anything like that, but still a very, very good deck. However, this has effectively killed a lot of dragon decks now, including my own Totem Dragon build of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, because I relied on this card in order to obviously send Totem Dragons and White Stones and that to the graveyard. We still have Dragon Shrine, fair enough and everything, but that's only a once per turn Foolish Burial for dragons, and to use it effectively you also have to use normal dragon monsters as well to use it to its maximum effect. So I think they were a little bit harsh with Dragon Ravine. I think one would have been enough, but I think from a lot of Dragon Ruler decks that I did see, a lot were just running 1 or 2 anyway, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens if this comes back at all. Return from a Different Dimension, no surprise there, even though it's a heavy cost. Towards the end of a duel, when your life points are that low, it's not really that much of a cost anymore, and being able to summon back all your monsters that have been removed from play, and then if you overlay with them or sync with them and everything, then obviously you get past the setback of having to put them back into the remove from play zone, the banish zone, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. But it was just too good a card. It allowed a lot of too many playable OTKs and all that kind of thing. So sad to see it go, but oh well. Self-destruct button. From what I can understand, this was quite big in some cards because it can force draws. Some burn decks and that's because it forces draws, I believe. But it's interesting to see this because I thought it wasn't a very good card, you know, giving you a draw and all that, but I suppose Konami have their reasons. 6 cents, no surprise there. It was just far too good, because regardless of what number you rolled, you were milling your deck or drawing cards was just too good, and a lot of decks benefit from that. They don't care if you draw very well or mill a lot. Most decks benefit from this card anyway, so it was just far too good. So that's the Forbidden there. Newly limited, blast all 4 of the big dragon rulers: Debris Dragon, Magician of Faith, Divine Wind of Mist Valley, Final Countdown, Sacred Sword of 7 Stars, and Spellbook of Faith. The big dragon rulers, I'm actually kind of glad they limited. As I said in another video, semi-limiting them would not have done anything, because that's still 8 dragons, which is about, if you run about, on average, say about 20-25 monsters, that's a good half the monster count and roughly 10% of the deck sorted already for you. So limiting's probably a lot better, which means dragon rulers officially themselves as a deck are not really playable anymore, but in attribute based decks they're still very good. Debris Dragon, I'm not surprised in all honesty, because it's been used in some dragon rare plants and other variants of that deck, just to synchro into your Star Eater, and also to make a lot of easy plays and everything in reviving certain dragons back from the graveyard, like little dragons to synchro or exceed with, and etc, etc. It's just a monster born built into a dragon and can only be synchroed for dragons, but it's just a very versatile little card. Magician of Faith, as I said, I'm very happy to see her back. I don't think she needed to be on the ban list anymore because she's a flip effect monster, and yes, she recycles spell cards, but there's not a lot of very powerful staple spells that people can abuse so easily nowadays. I mean, we've lost Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, Future Fusion, Giant Trunade, all that sort of thing. The only things that the two spell cards that I think a lot of people now use as staples are, of course, Book of Moon, three I should say, Mind Control maybe to an extent, and Darkhold, but definitely Book of Moon and Darkhold a lot of decks use because they're just far too good. So, and of course, with the Apprentice Magician now unlimited as well for a long time, we might see some decks like this using Magician of Faith's ability come back, and also the old combo of using her with Tsukiyomi could possibly come back, but in a lot of people's minds I think they see that as a far too slow combo for how fast the game is. That's understandable, but at the same time it's still a good old combo. You know, it's nice to see her back. I'm definitely going to be using her because I would like to reuse like Darkhold or Silver's Cry or anything like that as well. Divine Wind of Mist Valley. I think this is to do with the Harpies and also with the Harpy Ladies, I think, if I'm correct. Just because Harpy Ladies have had massive amounts of support recently and they're actually becoming very, very good. And I think they're a really awesome deck and everything, so it's understandable. Final Countdown. I think in the OCG I saw quite a lot of Final Countdown decks coming back into play. I'm not entirely sure about the TCG versions, but I think it's just to make sure that nobody abuses just how dangerous it'll be, because even though you've got 20 turns, a lot of duels don't end in 20 turns in all honesty, but it can surprise you, I suppose. Sacred Swords of 7 stars, no surprise, too easily usable, especially with the dragon rulers and everything, and of course they get their effects when they get banished and all that. But there's quite a lot of other level 7s out there that can use this card quite easily, so again it's another really big blow to the Dragon Ruler decks anyway. Spellbook of Faith, if I can remember correctly, this one like helps to recycle spell cards, if I'm correct. The spellbook cards anyway, I believe. Understandable. Prophecy was probably going to be the biggest deck used along with like maybe Firefists and Mermills after Dragon Rulers got hit by people predicted, and it seems so, but they've slowed it down a wee bit so it's not too overpowered with this card. But they could have done a wee bit more maybe, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. New semi-limited Chaos Sorcerer and Lone Flower Blossom. Now I won't lie, I hate Chaos Sorcerer. I actually said in the video I did with Dark Edition 84 and everybody, I'd rather get killed by a BLS than a Chaos Sorcerer. I mean, that's how much I don't like this card. It's a level 6 semi-Nomi. It's just too easy to use and too abusable, to be honest. A lot of people say BLS is worse. True, it's got extra effects and everything, but I still hate Chaos Sorcerer just because of the amount of damage it can do to my own deck. So, enough said about that. Lone Flower Blossom, no surprise there, because in Dragon Ruler Plants this little card was very, very good, and with a lot of with some new plant support coming out, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but because it's been a while since I've been in this game, mind you. With some more plant support coming out soon, you know, better to limit the potential of decks that could be dangerous, basically. And then, no longer limited, of course, is Archlord Christia, Mizuki, Plague Spreader Zombie, Tech Genus Striker, Tour Guide from the Underworld, Constellar Ptolemy M7, Fire Formation Tenki. Archlord Christia I think was a bad idea because agents are a pain in the neck, but from what I can understand, a lot of people don't run 3 Archlord Christia just because of its lockdown abilities, so it's understandable. But then again, we could be surprised by that, but I think that was a bit of a mistake on Konami's part, because if agents do come back in any way, then yeah, you've kind of given them a boost, Konami. Mizuki and Plague Spreader Zombie, it's nice to see zombies come off, because I don't think these needed to be on the ban list anymore. I mean, if they had decided to semi Mizuki instead and let Plague Spreader go to free, fine, fair enough. But as I said, most of the things nowadays are about Exceeds and not Synchros, although Synchros are still used to an extent. But Plague Spreader and Mizuki, it's nice to see zombies make a comeback because they were a fun deck to duel against when they were top tier back in the day. Tecturnus Striker, all I can say, combined with the agents, is probably going to be a good deck coming back again. Tour Guide from the Underworld, since we don't have Sangan, there's only very few targets for Tour Guide to actually go with. And that includes itself, Brow, I believe, from Dark World, and Tour Bus from the Underworld as well. But Tour Bus is one of those cards where apparently you do not want to draw into your hand, which is fair enough. So nice to see Tour Guide come back to 3. At least it allows a wee bit more options to reuse and search and everything. Constellar Ptolemy M7, I'm a bit unfamiliar with the effect, even though I've gone against Constellars once or twice. But apparently this came onto the board because Konami thought Constellars were going to be the next big deck and everything, and they were going to be very good, but apparently they've been proven wrong, so they thought, oh well, might as well just take this off. But if it turns out that the Constellars become very good this next format, then they're probably going to regret it. Fire Formation Tenki. Now, I'm not going to lie, Konami should never have unlimited this. Fire Fists, this is basically the main search card for Fire Fists, and they're going to be, because of this, they're going to be very, very good next format. I mean, when this was at 3 last time when Fire Fists were top tier, they were just far too good. And I think Konami is just giving them a boost again, which is, I think, a bit daft, because obviously it means, you know, Fire Fists can get their free searches and attack point boosts and everything, and it's, yeah, you've kind of given them back their 3 Sangans. Well done, Konami. I think this is probably the only mistake beside Archlord Christia that I think Konami has done, but we'll have to wait and see. As I said, the next format could surprise us with new cards and everything. I mean, Bujins and Ghost Tricks are becoming quite popular and quite good now, so they might be the next big thing maybe. But Dragon Rulers definitely is officially dead now. And I think a lot of people have breathed a sigh of relief about that, because, well, Dragon Rulers was a good deck until it became too OP and then kind of dominated us for a year, and that's kind of a bit of unfair because they were so good and so fast, no other deck could really compete with them. So it's understandable. But anyway, this list, as I said, I believe is just mediocre, or Medicore, whatever you want to say. It hits some decks that could potentially become too good next format. It's killed off one deck that everybody hates. It's made 1 or 2 small mistakes in case those kind of decks do come back, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. And hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, there'll be something big next format, which will probably decide, you know, this is the deck to play and everything. But I'm going to stick with my good old Blue Eyes. And I think to conclude and all, this list literally does not touch my deck, and I'm very, very happy about that. Anyway guys, that's it for this ban list video. Hope you guys enjoyed. As I said, this is probably going to be the last video, second last video of this year, and I'll see you guys in the very last video of 2013, which will be next. So, till then, take care, let me know what you think about this list, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!